Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and today we are going to be building an AI Chrome extension. So let's get started. So I will show you a preview before we start. This is how the extension is looking right now. So you can see this is the extension icon, and I click on it, it opens it in a pop-up, and we have two options: summarize the page and extract the key points. So for example, I have a page. I accidentally closed it, but I have a page here, right? And I can just click on this extension, click on summarize the page, and it will summarize this page here. So you can see all represent its 15 most popular Indian recipes, including this. Or I can click on extract the key points to extract the key points of this page, which is like fun experience and all that, curry, kheer, and all that, right? So yeah, I mean, we're going to be building this, and let's get started. All right, so the framework that we are going to be using to create the extension is going to be the Plasmo framework, and I have found it extremely useful to use this to create extension. I think it's way too much work to create an extension from ground up, and it also have some cross browser support as well. We are not going to get into that in this video, but yeah, man, that is good to have. So let's use this to start our project. So this is the getting started. I'm going to go into cursor and just use this command. So npm create Plasmo uh, in the current directory, right? I'll hit enter, and mostly most probably it will just create a extension for us, or at least a boilerplate for it. So we have to give it a description. It's going to be an AI extension, author name. I'll just say my notes saying Negi. It's installing the dependency for her. So if you haven't created an extension before, it's pretty easy. The most important files that you have to worry about is popup.tsx. This is basically if you have ever used any extension, and you can see, like, most probably you have seen like pop-up, right? So for example, if I click on this is a page and like a sidebar, but you get the idea. There is going to be a pop-up. So this is how we control the UI and everything in there. We have something called content.tsx or content.js, which is basically a script which gets injected into every page. So if you want to control the pages, you can use content.js to do that. And the last one is background.js, which is very powerful. You will have access to Chrome APIs. You will have access to all the tabs and everything. So yeah, I mean, we are going to be using that as well in this video. I'll just wait for the dependency to get installed. All right, I think we are good to go here now. Great. So we have all this. I'm getting an error. Just let's see. Okay, use workspace version. Great. All right, so let's try and run this. So I'm just gonna start the dev server call, and it will just start npm run dev. Okay. All right. And you can see this build folder, right? And this is where our extension code is basically. So let's go into Comet. So I'm using this browser called Comet. Again, it's based on Chrome, so it's mostly going to work, as a Chrome browser. So you just have to go to chrome.//extension. Okay, and once you're there, you have to enable this toggle. So by default, it will be like this, off. You enable it, and then you click on load unpacked. You will click on this, and then you will go to your directory. So I will go to the projects, and then YouTube project, AI extension. Double click on this, you'll see build, and then Chrome MV3 div. Select it, and you can see the extension here, right? Now if I go here, you can see the extension here, and you can see the name that we provided. I'm gonna pin it, so and this is the pop-up, right? So this is the same UI that you see here. If I click on, let's say, if I change this, so for example, let's remove this and just make it a button, right? Like click me and save it and go here. You can see the button is available here, right? So this is the popup.tsx, right? But what do we want? We want two buttons here. One is summary, and the next button is going to be the key points. And if we click on summary, it should, in the popup, it should show us the summary of that web page. And if we click on the key points, it should summarize that web page and only show us the key points, So we'll be going to be using the OpenAI for it, OpenAI APIs for it. But before that, we actually need access to the content inside the web page, right? How can we do that? Let's ask Perplexity, right? So I am building a Chrome extension. And the reason I'm showing you this is because even when I'll be working in a normal project in real life, I will be doing things like this. I'll be using Perplexity, OpenAI, Claude, to search for right results, right? So yeah, so I'm just gonna building Chrome extension, and I need access to the tabs, what permissions I need in the manifest file. So manifest file is like where you define basically what your extension do, and what kind of permission it needs and everything, right? So you can see we need the permission tabs. For the most available, tabs or active tab is sufficient unless your extension manipulates or read content from specific sites. So let's just use tab and active tab in permission in order to do that. And because we are using Plasmo framework, we don't see a manifest file here. We just see the package.json, and you can see the manifest section here, right? So I'm just going to go here and permissions, active tab, right? And also tabs, right? Let's see. Yeah, so tabs and active tab, right? And let's restart this. And most probably we'll have access to the, I think we have to like reload our extension. And most probably we'll have access to the tabs. We don't know yet. So the first thing that we need to do is get the access to this tab through our extension, right? So for that, I'm going to create a background.ts file, right? And in this background.ts file, I'm going to access the tabs, right? So let's do that. And all right, so what I'm going to do is going to use the Chrome APIs to access tabs whenever a tab changes, right? So Chrome dot on, I think it's on update or something. So let's ask Previously again. How to look for changes in Chrome API inside background.js. I mean, you can even ask cursor. I think that will be fine. But I'm giving Perplexity a chance nowadays. So it's chrome.tabs.on updated. So chromes.tabs dot on updated dot add listener. It will give us the tab ID, the change info, and everything. And then let's just console, and we'll get the idea if we have access to the um, the Chrome APIs or the tabs basically. So the way we can basically see these consoles which are being done inside the background.ts file is clicking on this here, go to your extension, and on inspect views, click on service worker, and you'll see this pop-up. And yeah, let's see if I reload this page, do we get any console? All right, so it's loading. It's taking a lot of time. Let's just go to google.com, and nothing really happens. Okay, so let's just console.log the this, right? And maybe let's also like restart the server, and then reload this and create a service worker. Let's reload this page. Yeah, and you can see, right? We have access to a tab and you can see all the information that we get back, right? So we have tab updated. This is the tab ID, and then active, the fab icon URLs, and if it is new, what is the URL and everything, right? But what we want is actually access to its content, right? And the way we need to do this is using uh, scripting, right? So how, let's ask Perplexity again. How can I read the inner text of this web page, right? So basically what I will do is I will get access to the inner text of this web page, take all that text out, and then send that to OpenAI to summarize, basically, right? So you can just do this, and for that you have to use chrome.scripting.executeScript API. The reason we have to use execute script is because from background.ts we can't directly execute code on the web page, so we need to use the chrome.scripting API. All right, so let's do that. We'll just say chrome dot scripting dot execute script, target the tab ID, and here the func. Let's just console.log the document.body.inner text, right? Let's save this. And yeah, let's open the console here, and I'll reload the page. And it says tag cannot read property of undefined reading execute script. Okay. Chrome.scripting.execute isn't that it? Scripting.execute script, right? Let me verify this again. Chrome.scripting.execute yes. All right, so we have the target, we have the func, and I think it should work. What is the issue? Oh, okay. I get it. I think the reason is that it doesn't work at this page. I don't know. Let's reload this. Let's try to. There are errors. Cannot read property of undefined reading execute script. All right, let me see what is the issue. Let's ask cursor, right? What's the issue? I'm gonna change it to ask mode. And that's why I love these live coding sessions, because this is how in reality it would have worked, right? It's not a polished YouTube video, but the idea is that you should be able to experience what really happens when we go into uncharted territories, right? So, and I have developed like a lot of Chrome extensions in the past, but from last couple of years I haven't like really looked into the scene. So yeah, so it says that we need a scripting permission. That makes sense. So I'm just going to copy that, go to package.json, paste it here, and it says extension repackaged, updating. You might need to restart the dev server. So let's restart it. npm run dev. Okay. Let's reload this and see if it works. Taking a lot of time. Let's just reload google.com. Let me see something. Okay, can you, okay. All right. So, okay. So what basically happened is I ran this function on the web page and it actually consoled it here, right? So for example, I can just console here. This is a YouTube video, save it and reload the page. Uh, I think I have to restart the extension. So restart this. Okay, yeah. So whenever you make changes to background.ts, we just learned a new thing is, whenever you make changes to background.ts, you have to go and reload the extension. That is good. Um, all right, but we need access to this data, right? And one way to get access to this data is to return data from this function. So if you look at here, it says, whatever you return, you'll get access to that here, right? So let's do that. Let's just return document.body.innerText, and then you have the result, and that's console.log the results, right? Again, we have to reload it because we made changes to background.ts, and also we need the extension. Yeah. So I'm gonna reload the Google dot, and you can see the result, and inside you can see the result, right? So result is all of this text. So we are basically able to get all the text from that web page using our extension, right? So now let's open an article. So let's say scientific paper on how light works. I don't know, something. Um, and this is a very big page. And this will exhaust our, token. So I'm not going to use this page. Uh, but let's see this one. This is fine, right? There are like a lot of other pages, but I think this is fine. Okay, it's just a test, right? Okay, so if I go to background.ts, I can see this, and you can see the whole text basically here, right? So that is great. Now let's so first thing I want to do is actually want to format it or not. I think OpenAI is um smart enough to, take care of this. So we have the results. I think now we can send this data to OpenAI and get back our results, right? So we can make API hits inside the Chrome extension. So let's do that. And before that, actually look at the OpenAI APIs. So I'll just go to Perplexity here. OpenAI APIs docs. I think this one will work. Let's go here. So this is how I can make the API. I just want the responses now, conversations. Let's go here. I want to make an API hit to OpenAI to get chat, to get a reply. Let's see what it comes up with. So yeah, chat completion API. I want, yeah, original directory. Yeah. So application JSON are API key and just model, chat completions, right? And message, and you can just, use that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. So you can see like the API head. So API head is there, content application. We need an OpenAI API key. You can get it from the OpenAI platform. You have to pay for this, but I mean, it's very minimal pricing. So yeah. So messages, okay, I'm just gonna copy this curl and I'm gonna go here and open chat, and I'm gonna say make a fetch request using results zeroth dot result. The reason I'm doing is because the you know result that we get back have like a single element with all the text inside the dot result. So I'm just gonna send that, and it converted into a fetch API. Great. So fetch open API. We need to provide our own bearer project bearer API key here, and then all of this, right? And then we send this. So system, what I want to do is by default, let's just summarize it. Summarize the following text in 100 words, and whatever data we send in, or it's going to return that data, like the summarized result, right? So great. Now let's provide an open API key here. .env file in Plasmo. So what I want to do is use environment variables of Plasmo to create the save the OpenAI API key, so we don't commit that. Okay, so I'm just looking at this. The target browser manifest only was preview will be injected. Accessible to extension created .env file and only Plasmo public. Okay, all right, makes sense. So I'm going to create a new file .env Plasmo public OpenAI key, right? And now I'm going to paste my AI key, OpenAI key in here. All right, so I have the API key now. Let's see if I'll be able to use it here. So I have to change this to a string literal. Instead of this, it should be Plasmo public OpenAI key. This is the chat compilation API, GPT-4, O, mini. It will make it fast. Also consume like very less tokens as well. Okay, so I think we are good to go. All right. So the extension is packaged. I'm just gonna go here, reload this, and open my service worker. We have a lot of consoles. Let's close these. All right. Okay. So reload the extension, open the service worker, and let's say go to this page and reload this. So I just received error, incorrect API key provided undefined. Okay, so it's not reading my env file, maybe because I haven't restarted the day server. So let me just do that. Right. Reload this and go here, reload this page, and hopefully this works. Great, it returned some result. So choices, message, content. Great. All right, so there is the summarization. I think it's a little bit big, but let's just console this. So it will be data dot choices zeroth dot message dot content. Save this. I think I have to reload this. Go here, reload the page, and let's see if that works. Great. It made the API call, I think, 3 times, but we don't want to do that. But yeah, it actually did make the API request 3 times. We'll figure that out later. So I say light is equal to, okay, great. Let's change it to 50 and see if it works. Again, reload this, go here, reload the page. Yeah, so it works, right? Also, let's create another. So let's do that. Let's create 2 different functions. The first one is to summarize the whatever text we have in 50 words, and then one to extract, let's say, 5 key points from the page, right? So let's create those functions. I'm gonna create a function here, function summarize, and that will basically be this. I'll just paste it here. OpenAI chat completion. The content will be the text, right? And it will console that for us. And then I'll just create another function which will be extract key points, right? And basically the idea is same, just the prompt will be different, right? So the prompt will be extract the key point from the following text and return them as a list of bullet points and markdown. All right, great. Let's see if that works. So we have two summarize text and extract key points. So let's remove this and call extract key points and also summarize text, right? Okay, so I'm going to reload this page again. All right, so you can see, right? So we have the key points and then we have the summarization, right? So that works. I think the final part is to connect all of this to the pop-up, right? So everything shows up in the pop-up. So let's do that. All right. So for that, we have to do create the UI. So I'm going to keep it pretty simple. So popup.js, I'm gonna create a button here. Right, which will be summarize the page. And then there will be another button which will be extract the key points. And they will just have padding, right? So just keep it simple, style equal to this, right? Okay. But let's, actually create a component out of them. So const button equal to, right? So return button style this, also have some margin, let's say 4, right? And we'll have, let's say children and also the on click, right? So we'll have the on click, we'll just pass the on click. Great. And we'll just use 2 button here. Yeah, we don't need this anymore. Um, so on click right now, they don't do anything. So we'll just make it like this only. All right, go here, summarize the page, extract the key points. And when we have the key points, it will just display it. Or when we have the key points or when we have the summarization, it will just display that in like a paragraph below. So we'll just have this data. Now we have to, basically right now what we are doing is whenever the page loads, we basically make this request, right? Now we want to actually make this request when the buttons get clicked, right? So let's do that. Let's go here, calling background JS functions from popup. All right, so it's going and doing research. Consider the standard recommended way is to use message passing. So we're going to be using message passing, like using this is not there. So this is how we're going to do. So chrome.runtime.send message action. What is the action? And you send the data, and then you receive the response. So it's basically a message passing, more like an API hit. You can think of it that way. So, and then there we are going to be creating a listener which will listen to these actions and then do whatever they want you to do, and then return the result, right? Yeah, so let's do that. This is like more like API hits, so you have a front end which is making API hits, and then you have a back end which is responding, doing the work and responding to it, right? So I think that's the easiest way to understand this. Great. So now let's go to the pop-up. Here we are going to create two functions. So first will be const extract key points. And here what we are going to do is call chrome.runtime. So chrome.runtime.send message, right? What will be the action, extract key points, and what will be the data. The data should be the tab ID. Yeah, because whatever active tab it is. So let's see, because we don't want to send any data from here. Can we access tab ID inside popup JS? Yes. But we're also using the chromes.tabs.query. So you query and you get the current tab ID, array of tabs with the first item being the activity from which ID can be accessed. Okay, great. So let's just do that. We'll have a const get tab ID, which will be an async function. I'll show you in a why I said that. Okay, so const tab, the first element, right? So we are destructuring the response that we're going to get, and getting the first element out of it, right? So await chrome dot tabs dot query, right? Active true, current window true, right? Great. So that's what they are doing here. Chrome dot query. Query returns a promise. That is a good thing. All right. And then we just need the ID, right? So we just want to return the tab dot ID. Great. And the data will be tab ID, and we just async that. Sorry, await that. And just make this async. Great. We'll do the same thing here as well. So I'll just use cursor tab, summarize text, and just send the tab ID. So we just send the tab ID which tab we want to summarize, right? And now we're going to go to background.ts, and instead of doing this on updated, we're just gonna comment this out and say chrome.runtime.on message.add listener request sender and the send response, right? We have all these, great. Okay, so now we can have a switch here. So switch request.action, right? So case, if it's extract key points, then call extract key points. And if it's summarize text, then call summarize text. One problem there is that they need to be, async, they need to return thing, right? Right now they just console. So I'm actually going to just convert them into async, and let's see if that works or not, because I haven't tried that, right? Okay. And in this case, then I can just const response, await this, uh, and just remove everything here. Const data response, and then return data choices 0.message.content. Same thing here. I don't need this anymore. I can just const await this, extract the JSON, and just return the message. Create, and then I think I can just make this async as well. And then what I can do is const text and just summarize this. What happened? Okay. We'll just name it response. Okay, I get it. So you can't name them same, right? So you have to extract key point response and then summarize text response, right? Because they are actually in a one code block. Return true, great. I think you have to return true. Okay, I just ask this, why we need to return true. I think the reason you need to return true is because that is like, it's success as well, I think. Need to return cron session message, listen when you plan, you listen, use async await. After async work, keep the message channel open. Okay, returning true tells Chrome to keep the channel open so you can call send response later. All right, great. Oh, okay. So if you don't do it, then it just close the message like the tunnel, and you'll not be able to call it like in the later point of time. So it's because it's all of this is not in sync. You need to return true, so it will keep everything open, right? Great. I think this should work. Let's just reload it, go to service worker, go to this page, and all right, I think this is not at least calling it on the load. Let me go ahead and click on summarize the page, and let's see if that works. But we haven't like put console anywhere, so I don't know. Let's see if, okay, didn't even made the network call, so something is definitely fishy. All right, so let's go to popup. Yeah, because we're not calling these functions, right? What dumb ash we are. All right, so extract key points. Oh no, this is summarize, and this is extract, right? So let's do that. Let's just reload the whole extension. All right, I'm gonna go here, summarize the page. Okay, so we got something. Cannot read property of undefined reading 0. Maybe data.choices and everything. That's okay. Did we make a call? Yes, we did. Invalid valueful content expected a string got null. That makes sense because what we basically did is we are not even going to that tab and actually extracting the inner text from it, right? So we used to do that, but we're not doing that now. So let's create another function here. So, okay, so async function get tab text. So chrome.scripting.executeScript, tab ID. Is this a promise? Okay, so it's only callback, so promise doesn't work here. So what I'm going to do is convert this into a promise. So return new promise. So we're going to resolve. Great. Yeah. So I don't think we need a sync here, but that's okay. So we are basically awaiting this promise, and what this will, I haven't like used promise in a very long time actually. But yeah, man. So if we're gonna return a promise, and what this will do is this will basically allow us to await the text, and then we'll send that to you know extra key points, right? Great. So let's do that. I think we do it anyways, because only two functions that we have right now is this. So on both cases we have to get the text, right? So request dot data dot tab id, and then that text will be passed on here. Why it is unknown? It should be string. This can return a promise as a string. All right. So types are fixed. I think it should work. I don't see why. So this returns a promise. Bright. Yeah, I think it should work. I haven't used promise in a long time. I can ask just cursor right. There's no shame in admitting that you don't know how your code works, because in reality most of us don't know how all of these things work. So and I have been programming from last 10 years, and believe me, like uh most of the time you don't know what you're doing. So yeah. So let's just ask it. Okay, so is my promise going to work in get tab text? If has issues, it says problem with your current implementation, missing error handling. That is fine. No rejection pass. That's okay. So yeah, I mean that at least the syntax works, right? Yeah, that's okay. It works. All right, so I'm just gonna reload this. I'm gonna go in this page, summarize the page. Actually made a request. Great. Okay, so it choices dot everything. I don't think we received the data back. Let's see if I'm able to console the response here. Also in popup, we just send the message. We don't really do anything with that. So we have to read the message, right? And that's how you're going to do that. Is send message a promise? No. So okay, so if you look at this, sends a signal message leisure. Okay, so the response callback is where you'll get the response. So set data response here. I think this will work. So just again going to reload this. I'm going to go here and yeah, just click on summarize the page. Okay, so you can see the article explores the nature of light, its property and whatever. And if I click on extract the key points, I think it's going to take a bit longer. Okay, but you can see light is both obvious and mysterious and everything. This pop-up looks very bad. Let's set a minimum height, minimum width. So min width going to be 300. I think that's fine. Yeah. So if I just click on summarize the page, it will just summarize the page and gives you that, the summarization. If you extract the key points, it's just gonna go and extract the key points, and we can do it everywhere, right? So this is a lot. I don't think we should summarize this. This is a lot. Let's summarize something less. Let's say getting started in Plasmo, right? I go here, summarize the page. Plasmo is compressor SDK for building browser extension using React and TypeScript, simplifying everything, right? Extract the key points. Okay, so here you can see it's not, very looking good visually, but I think, it kind of gets your job done. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And this is what I have been working on. Uh, Basically, the idea behind building this extension is that I want to build a personal assistant Chrome extension where because I spend a lot of time in my browser researching and doing a lot of other things. I want to build a personal assistant who can have access to all of that data, and then it can help me in doing my day-to-day things, right? But yeah, this is it for the today's video, and I hope you liked it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.